I refuse to die until history records my greatness.
That's awesome. How did you find out that was what you were called to do, was motivating people to live better lives?
Yeah, man. Let me give you this story how I got there. So there was this kid in high school, and that is me. I was in high school, I think, the third year of high school. And in high school, man, I knew nothing about life. All I knew is just go to school, and what I had was all that the world could offer, and that was it. But one day, one speaker came to our school and did one motivational session that I can say changed my life. And that guy, man, God bless him wherever he is, he came and he said, you know what? And he used this saying, and that's where I got the interest about America. He said, America did not make Americans. Americans made America. And he said that all of us are like diamonds. The difference between the diamond that we are and the diamond that is on the shop that is expensive, it's attractive and it's shining, is because there is a process that that diamond went through that all of you need to go through so that you can get there. Fortunately or unfortunately, some of you do not have the ability to go through that process so that you can realize that progress. And I'm here to tell you that if you go through that process, which requires a diamond has to go through refinement, it has to go through pressure, it has to go through fire. And that's the process where he told us that that is challenges in life, that if you have to go through them, then you will be that diamond that is shining, that is in demand, and that is expensive. And that changed my life, David. And that guy, as he finished his speech, I went to him and I told him, hey, you literally changed my mind. I never saw life in that perspective, and what you just said changed my life. And he gave me a book called The Greatness Syndrome. It's written by a gentleman by the name Pepe Minambo. And that book became like my Bible. I looked in that book and there were quotes that says that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the little extra. It had quotes that says that excuses are the nails used to build a house called failure. And each time I read that book, it changed my life. And even today, I still read that book because every time when I'm down, I am low, I have to go to that book, and it usually changed my perspective and gives me my fuel and drive. In that moment or that season of my high school moment, before that guy came, I used to be a poor student, man. I never used to perform. I had the potential, but I never knew I had the potential in me. And that guy asked me, what do you want to become? What do you want to become when in life, or what career do you want to do in college? And I told him I want to be an economist, and he wrote to me to Economist Charles, and he gave me that book. Trust me, flash forward, David, I found myself first day in college, enrolled in a university to do economics and finance, and I was so uncomfortable, and I was like, what am I doing to the people who that guy cannot reach to? What am I doing to the people who God will give me an ability to access that guy cannot have? And that's when I decided to do and to follow this mission. And all my life, I've been in the business of developing people, and I've been able to transform that passion into a profit. And that's how I got into that space, man.
That's a great story, dude.
Thanks, man.
I love that.
Thank you.
So you've been doing it for a bit now, right? Motivational speaking?
Yeah, on November 9th, it will be my 10th year.
10th year.
Yep. And that's since my first day in college.
That was when you started?
Yep.
What are some of the things you've seen impacting people from your work? What is that like? And do you have any specific examples of people that have changed what they're doing because of what you told them?
Oh man, 100%, David, 100%. I've seen young people specifically being able to be like me, where they were not performing well in school, to a point where I came into contact with them, inspired them to a point where some of them are in college, some of them are in good workplaces. I've also seen people who are into positions and state in life of almost giving up. And when they encountered me, they had a chance to change their perspective and had a move. But the biggest thing that I get is the everyday on my inbox, either Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. Some people have my phone number, which they get it through my social media handles. Trust me, I get messages of people telling me, hey man, this message encouraged me. Hey man, this thing transformed my life. And that really, really, really moves me. And one of the biggest stories I have was when I was in college. I also happened to get into leadership and had a position of the student president at my university. And one thing that I can say is when I graduated, I had a young man who I was mentoring. And this young man had no idea as far as what they want to be or they want to do in life. And so we worked with him. And flash forward, that young man got an opportunity not only to be in the same college that I was, but also to be a president or the position that I was. And I realized that he told me that success leaves clues, that if you want to be successful, look for someone who has been where you want to be and do what he did. And so that's what I can say.
Success does leave clues,
Yeah,
dude. That's
yeah.
how I try to model my career and my life. Is most of the friends that I have, I've seen something inside of them that I would like to be more like. And so, like, oh, that person's really generous, or that person's really kind, that person's really open.
Yep.
And I see that, and I'm like, oh, I want to be around them. And that way, I can learn. I can get it by diffusion.
100%. 100%. You don't go as far as your dream. You go as far as your team.